social media exploded. The hashtag #LeeSkook everywhere suddenly trended across countries, from South Korea, Thailand, and Indonesia to the United States. Fans were buzzing, shocked, even confused. Why have BLACKPINK's Lisa and BTS's Jungkook been seen together so often lately? The latest photo released by a paparazzi in New York showed the two walking casually in matching hoodies and caps. They weren't holding hands, but their distance was far too close to be called a coincidence. Netizens began digging deeper, and what they found, surprising. Too many coincidences. 3 weeks earlier, Lisa was seen leaving a studio in Hanamdong around 10 p.m. A few minutes later, another black van exited the same garage, and fans recognized the driver's silhouette, Jungkook. At the time, fans thought it was just work-related. Maybe they were recording something, who knows, but 2 days later, Lisa and Jungkook were caught on fan cams at a small cafe in Itaewon, sitting in the corner, wearing masks. Com.no manager. No staff, friends, one fan tweeted, too often to be just friends, another replied. The coincidence at the airport the next day, fans were even more puzzled. Lisa was scheduled to fly to Tokyo for a fashion event. Jungkook? No official schedule, but guess who arrived at the VIP terminal 2 minutes after Lisa? Jungkook, with a small suitcase, dressed entirely in black. They didn't walk together, but they entered the same gate, and 3 hours later, a Japanese fan uploaded a video, Lisa and Jungkook seated side by side at Haneda Airport's lounge, sharing earphones and quietly laughing. The podcast that blew everything up. The real explosion came when a new episode of the Night Whispers podcast aired, featuring Lisa and Jungkook as special guests, promoted as a talk about music and creativity. The conversation took a turn when the host casually asked, "There are a lot of rumors, why are you two always seen together?" Lisa giggled softly. Jungkook glanced at her, then replied casually, "Because we're comfortable." That word, comfortable, set off a firestorm of speculation. The clip spread across TikTok and X within hours, viewed millions of times. The comments flooded in, "Comfortable? As friends? Or more than that? Please don't play with our feelings, just say you're dating." Loudly crying face, "I ship them so hard, but I'm also emotional." 3 days after the viral podcast, Lisa posted on Instagram story. A Polaroid photo of the two of them, sitting on a studio rooftop with Seoul City lights in the background. No caption, just a white heart emoji and one word, "Finally." Fans lost it. Was that a confirmation? Some cried happy tears, feeling like their dreams had come true. Others were still in disbelief, stunned by how close the two had become. Even their agencies hadn't released a statement. Quiet but real until tonight. Neither Lisa nor Jungkook has said more, but one thing's for sure. Since that podcast, they've stopped hiding. Seen at the gym, at cafes, in studios, sometimes alone, sometimes with close friends, but always together. One fan wrote on an online forum, "Maybe they don't care what the world says anymore. Maybe they just want to live normally and be happy, and honestly, I support that." Shocked? Yes, but happy? Also, yes. The entertainment world is always full of surprises, but Lisa and Jungkook's story shows one thing: even under a spotlight, two hearts can find a way to be close and to stay, whether as friends, creative partners, or something more. And for fans, yes, shocked but true love, always worth supporting. A hidden room in a noisy world. The small studio on the second floor of the Hanam Sound Complex wasn't just any studio. Very few knew it had long been a safe space for Jungkook and Lisa. Behind soundproof walls, they often met, not for big projects, but to share unreleased songs, personal stories, and sometimes, just to sit in silence together. "When you sent me that demo, I cried," Lisa said one night, resting her head on the studio couch. Jungkook only smiled, replying with no words. His hands lightly played a melody on the small keyboard in front of him. A world that never sleeps outside. The world never stopped asking. Busy schedules, pressure from fandoms, public expectations, it all felt overwhelming. But inside that studio, they were just Lisa and Jungkook, not BLACKPINK, not BTS, not idols living under constant scrutiny. "Sometimes I just want to run away," Lisa whispered. "You're not alone," Jungkook replied gently. They knew they weren't an ordinary couple, not even ordinary friends. They lived in a whirlwind where one smile could be a headline, and a photo could ruin everything. The moment that changed everything: one night, after finishing their respective dance practices, They met at a small park in Seoul, not a fancy park, just a hidden green space between tall buildings. Lisa brought hot tea. Jungkook brought a guitar. Without words, Jungkook strummed and began singing. Musical note, we're walking under city lights, but only you make it feel like home. Musical note, Lisa stared at him for a while. I know this song wasn't for anyone, but I want it to be for us. That night, they didn't hide. There were only stars, a gentle breeze, and two hearts slowly figuring out where they were headed. The world reacts. Not everyone happy. The next day, fansite photos leaked. Lisa and Jungkook sitting side by side on that same park bench. Though dark and blurry, their closeness was undeniable. The comment section exploded. They finally got caught. Loudly crying face. Why Jungkook? Lisa could do better. I support them, as long as they're happy. Loudly crying face. Loudly crying face. Loudly crying face. While fans argued online, both agencies stayed silent, letting time speak for itself. A shocking video. A week later, a behind-the-scenes video from Lisa's solo song production went viral on YouTube. At minute 7, a man in a cap could be seen adjusting her mic and offering technical input. Fans recognized the voice. It was Jungkook, and at minute 12, Lisa burst out laughing as Jungkook jokingly sang a parody of her chorus. Fans went wild. They'd been working together a lot. That's not just a friend, that's a life partner. Lisa speaks. The end of speculation. In a special edition interview with Dazed Korea, Lisa finally spoke out. I know our closeness made people curious, but honestly, Jungkook and I have been in each other's lives for a long time. We grew up in the same world, facing the same pressures. We found comfort in one another. She smiled and added, it's not about labels. It's about feeling. Now, no one could deny how close they were. Lisa and Jungkook may not have labeled their relationship, but the way they looked at each other, the lyrics they wrote, their presence behind the scenes, it all spoke louder than any official statement. In a world full of demands, these two stars chose to just be human, seeking only to be understood and loved.